Hello everybody and welcome to not really a review but just patch note review, and this is for Spacebourne 2 3.0. So guys, I am super excited to be back. I just built my new computer. Check the description below if you want to see my PC part picker and the price I actually paid for this computer. I think I got a hell of a steal. With that being said, subscribe to the channel, like, and hit that notification for future content. If you have any comments below about more Spacebourne 2, please let me know. I'm having a blast with it, except a little bit of a disclaimer. Save your game and make sure you save it to a thumb drive or something else. Make copies of it, because as I built this new computer, I did not remember that Spacebourne 2 is not cloud save. And I'm so used to Steam cloud saving everything, I completely forgot to transport over my save file. So I am starting a fresh new copy of Spacebourne 2. It is what it is. I don't mind, because here's the thing. It is in early access, and at any moment the dev could nuke everybody's save file. So whatever. It is what it is. With that being said, let's talk about what has been added. So the main story has been extended. Awesome. So there is more storyline and story quest. Let me tell you right now, there's not only a bunch of side quests, but you can do literally anything you want to do in there, from mining, freelancing, transporting, taking over factions, diplomatic things. I mean, it's ridiculous. War. And now that the main story has been extended, that's really, really cool. It's not going to be published here because, again, he wants to avoid spoilers. He doesn't want to spoil anything. But there are some new features related to the main story. Another cool feature that has been added, sub-house management. So pretty much if you ever look at the factions, you'll see there's a head of the faction, like kind of the big boss leader. And then if you open it up, you'll see sub-houses and other people that are part of that faction. Well, now you get to have that as your own self. So you have you as the main faction, and then you can have other factions up to 8 as your sub-faction. Understand though, just as you have to keep everybody happy within your faction, you have to keep everybody happy in the sub-faction. So it's more micromanagement. Not a bad thing, just another new feature. There is now a new feature for soldier training camps to be put at your spaceport, which is awesome because your capital station, you can outfit it to be really virtually anything you want it to be. It's really cool once you get to that part. And to build up your spaceport. I do have a video, 3-part video on that, talking about war, spaceport, because I don't think it really explains spaceport too well. So you definitely want to check that out if you haven't made your spaceport. It is part of the main story quest line, so don't worry. AI war has been added. This is neat. So typically we go to war and we just, all the other AI is just stagnated. They're just, sure, they might be doing their own things and things are fluctuating, but now they're going to go to war with each other, which is going to really change the game in real time. My playthrough versus your playthrough will not be the same, and that I think is amazing. I mean, there's already a ton of differences between my playthrough and your playthrough, but now that the AI is going to actively be going to war, it's now kind of like, do I take out the little ones quick before somebody else takes them out? What do I do? So this is really, really cool. Players and their faction can directly influence these wars. That's neat. Players can participate in the AI versus AI wars individually or with their faction and change the course of the battle. Really, really neat. Really, really neat. He has something on here called NP Faction Intelligence Improvement. It just says NP Factions AIs have been enhanced with new features. I don't know what that is really, so I'll have to look it up when I jump back in. But I'm starting from the beginning. Faction wars have been balanced to be more challenging. They were pretty easy. This part I love, and I don't know how it's going to play out. I will do an update when I find out. Support buildings activated in faction wars. Capturing and holding support buildings can change the course of the war. And I wonder if this means if I hold the turret, because remember, in a war you have to take out 3, 4, just depends on how many support buildings there are around before you can get to the capital or the station in the middle to overrun that, take it, and do what you please. Either convert it to your own, destroy it, whatever. Now the fact is, if you hold the support building, typically, let's say the turret, you hold that, it usually turns the turret off at every other support location. Okay, that's cool. If this changes it to now that I hold it, I'm going to see the turrets now shoot at the enemy. And if I hold, say, the shielding or whatever, and that gives me like extra shielding for our ships, that really is going to change the way the war is. And I kind of really like it. But again, that's just me speculating. We'll have to find out once I start playing. New crew members have been added. Ground combat has been improved, which that's a blessing because I really don't like the ground combat. The way he runs, the clanking of his uniform. Again, these are minor nitpicks, guys. That's me. It's too arcadey. But yeah, I never really cared for the ground combat. But apparently the AI is going to be a little bit smarter. If you've ever done the ground combat, you kind of see they kind of follow their trajectory to get to you. The way they were created originally was, here's the character, your job is to run at that character and shoot him. Get to him by any means necessary, even if it means running sideways up a stairs to get through the doorway just so I can shoot you. Now it looks like they're going to be a lot smarter, and hopefully they'll take cover and do other things to kind of pull you into an actual fight. There's some texture and overlay optimization. AI facial morphs and dialogue animations have been improved, so now voice dialogue is going to correlate with the lip movement. Good. Planetary landing and surface loading system improved, so I guess there were some bug issues with going in and out of planetary systems, or planetary movement. I can't even think of the word. But basically going in and out of the planet surface, so it's been fixed. General game optimization, so projectiles, effects, shadows, and high frame rate animations have been optimized to prevent crashing. I'm still a little bit nervous on this one because I did play, I am trying to shoot some 4K video of it, and I did crash during a combat scenario. So I gotta double check. It kind of like, yeah, it completely crashed, and then that crash actually, whatever it did, turned my whole computer off. It like rebooted itself. So I gotta figure out what happened there. It gave me Unreal Engine crash report, so I'll have to go through it later and see what happened. We do have a new diplomatic news tab, so just like we heard factions can go to war with each other, well, this diplomatic news section will actually tell you about the wars and what's going on, kind of like a little bit of information of what's happening in your playthrough, in your universe. Really cool, really cool. Landing port added to player faction stations. This is awesome because my mothership could not land. I had basically, I think it was a Corvette. It was something big. It was another big cruiser. Battle cruise, something like that. It couldn't land. I literally had to get out of the captain's seat, go out the hangar, go fly over either in one of my ships or just jetpack over pretty much, go do what I needed to, and then come back over. They've now fixed it so that the mothership and bigger class ships can land at your spaceport. And there's also a new soundtrack. That's cool. From Trap Music Industry. 2 new environmental music tracks. That's cool. So, last but not least, in the patch notes, there is a ton of bug fixes. I encourage you to read that section. He explains in detail what people have sent in and what he found and what he fixed. Some of the quick ones are, I guess some of the wars would never end. Fixed it. Bullet guiding indicator stuck on the screen even if the ship is too far away. Sometimes you would see like, oh, I'm being shot from the left, and the ship's miles and miles away. Like, I mean, it's nowhere in sight, and yet you're still looked like you're being shot at. Sometimes my squad can attack me. Never had that happen to me, but apparently did. So see, that's fixed. When looting ammo crates, sometimes it adds less or negative ammo to your count. Again, never happened to me, but again, fixed. This is my favorite one out of all the bug fixes. With the gore system on, despite losing limbs, some of the AI continued to move and fight. I don't know if I would have fixed that. I think that would have been pretty creepy. We could have just said zombies. I mean, that's pretty funny, but it's been fixed. If I re-enter the ship while the cockpit cover opening animation is playing after disembarking from a WRA ship, the ship's cockpit cover remains open. So it's just saying that I guess you would go flying with an open canopy or cockpit cover, but yeah, that's been fixed. And NPCs walking in outposts get stuck, and crowds in the stairs and narrow spaces preventing the players to pass through. I've had that happen many times. I even showed him a video of all these NPCs. I said, it's really cool you have, like, it looks lively, but I said some of these NPCs are literally doing nothing but standing, and I said they're accumulating to a point where I can't get through. I have to actually go out, go try a different landing pad to get through that side of the door and hope that I can get through. So it's been fixed. Awesome. And last but not least, that's pretty, good. If I track a main quest, it always sets the first quest in the list to track status. And if I track a side quest while a main quest is tracked, the game tracks both of them at the same time. Never had that happen, but it's been fixed. Oh, and one more other thing. For anybody who doesn't want the English language to be spoken, and they had like a different language, that's really cool that he has multiple languages. Some side quests do not spawn when player in languages other than English. So now that's been fixed. So you might have been missing out on some side quests not even knowing it because you had set your language from other than English. So it's been fixed. The mission does not start when I go to the point indicator by the scanner. So that's been fixed. That's really good. And then one other thing I did notice, I'm sorry I'm adding like another one, but he did fix something with the cave. So the old headquarters was in a cave, and now after you build your capital station, when I do, newly added characters are not visible in the meeting, only their voices are heard. So pretty much once you get to your capital station and you build it, the cave you'll have to learn through the main story what happens at the cave. It's really good. The story's really good. Again, I don't want to spoil it. It's really good. But some of the characters would not spawn over at the capital station, so when you go to have your meeting, you just hear their voice, but they're not even there. And that's because they're stuck at the cave. So, with that being said, that is patch 3.0, and this is just part 1, guys. This is part 1 of his 3.0 patch. He's breaking it up into parts to see the stability. So we're going to have 3.0, half of it right now, testing it. Again, I just crashed, so I already sent my report. I'm just trying to keep up and help him out. He's really on top of everything, guys. So the more you tell him, the more he's going to fix things. The less you say, oh, this is crap, I'm crashing, if you don't explain to him what's going on, he's not going to find it. With one person working on it, and he does have another YouTuber who's actually helping him as like a game tester. It does help him, but again, it comes down to the community. If you like the game, help him. Seriously, help him. That's what I've been doing. It's kind of why I make these videos. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to the next part of 3.0. This is awesome. I mean, just that AI war alone is really, really cool. That's going to be it's ever changing. And yeah, I'm going to have to go and play so I can get back to my old save point, which is going to... That was 47 hours. So 47 hours of me playing again to get back to where I was. Here it comes, baby. Here it comes. So thank you, guys. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next.